Fight. Noob Silent. Liu Kang. Shang Tsung. Scorpion. Shao Kahn. Raiden. Sub-Zero. Come here!
Your spine will shiver. Yes. I'm simply too fast.
The void begins. Death comes for all. Dream of nightmares. Beware the shadows. Outstanding. 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 You suck. Don't make me laugh. Impressive.
Welcome back, everybody, to a very special episode of the MK Mobile Podcast. This is the year 2022 in review. That is right. Everything that happened in the world of MK Mobile in the year 2022, I'm going to cover. And it's interesting. This one's going to be really interesting for you because over the last couple days, if you follow me on Twitter or Reddit, you've seen that I've been putting out some polls, asking some questions. I'm getting details. I've been getting that hard data. This data is going to show us what the community thought was the best and worst characters, what the most favorite and least favorite towers were, what the most favorite brutality was, and so much more about what we, the players, thought about this last year in the world of MK Mobile. And before we get started, I got to give a huge shout out to everyone that participated in these polls and gave awesome feedback. We had a lot of responses that are really good, and one in particular that really struck out was when voting for these new characters, a lot of people don't have them. And I do see that as a problem in this game anyways. So got to keep that in mind when you're looking at these results. But with that, let's get started on the MK Mobile 2022 year in review. Okay, and first off, we're going to talk about the new gold characters that we saw over the last year. There were 4 total new gold characters that made their appearance. First of all, we got Pyromancer Tanya at the beginning of the year. Then we saw the arrival of Lizard Baraka. Then Classic Shang Tsung made his appearance. And finally, most recently, we saw the arrival of Lizard Noob Saibot making his appearance. So I wanted to know, what gold character was your most favorite? So if we look at the poll from Twitter, we can see that 37% out of 109 votes, 37% went to Lizard Noob Saibot, you guys. So yeah, the winner was Lizard Noob Saibot for that, and I cannot blame anybody that voted for that. So let's take a look at the Reddit poll, and same question, the winner on that one was Lizard Baraka. So I found it funny, or not funny, I found it interesting that there's this new class of characters, this Lizard character class that no one really asked for, but out of all the gold characters that were introduced last year, that those 2 characters came in first. I found that very interesting. I should probably also note who came in second on these polls. So on the Twitter poll, and again, this is out of 109 votes, Classic Shang Tsung came in second, which I was really expecting him to be first because he looks just like an amazing character. The developers did an amazing job creating that character. I don't have him yet, hope to get him soon. And if we're looking at the Reddit poll, out of 145 votes, Lizard Baraka came in second. I'm sorry, Lizard Noob Saibot came in second on that. So both Lizard teammates on Reddit, both were in the lead on that poll. So I also find it interesting on Reddit versus Twitter, 2 totally different followings, different atmospheres altogether. I don't know if anybody else is on both of those platforms, but very different in just people that are on those platforms. I don't know how to explain it. So anyways, let's move on to new characters, Diamond class. So again, we saw 4 new Diamond characters. Beginning of the year, we saw MK11 Fujin whirlwind his way in, spin his way in, blow in to the MK Mobile roster. Then, out of nowhere, we saw classic movie Raiden. Thought that was kind of a neat way to honor the MK Mobile legacy, you know? Get a little character, like a movie character in there. That was pretty cool. We saw the arrival of MK11 Liu Kang most recently. So we got another badass Liu Kang to join the roster. And then, of course, we got the Joker. So those were the 4 diamonds that we saw appear in the year 2022 for this game. Now, I wanted to know, who was your favorite character? Who's your favorite diamond character out of that year? We're going to start off with a Twitter poll. And who came in first out of, let's see how many votes we got here. 118 votes. We got Fujin. Actually, this one is interesting. We had two. We had a tie here. MK11 Fujin and MK11 Liu Kang both got 32%. So it came in as a tie there. Fujin and Liu Kang both tied. Surprisingly, Classic Movie Raiden was the least picked. I just thought that was kind of surprising. So anyways, that's a Twitter poll. Now let's check out the Reddit poll. And on that one, we had Fujin coming in first. Out of 161 votes, he got 56. And MK11 Liu Kang got 49. So again, it mirrors directly with the first poll on Twitter. So very interesting. So Fujin basically, I would say, took the lead on that one, and Liu Kang came in second. The Joker is a blast to play, though. He's very fun to play. Don't have Classic Movie Raiden yet. I don't know how many of you actually do, but I'm assuming he's okay to play. But the community has spoken, and Fujin is definitely the winner there. All right, moving on from characters and into towers. We saw the arrival of 4 new towers last year. They were the Elderwind Tower, the Twisted Tower, Classic Tower, and finally the White Lotus Tower. And depending on who you are, you might love towers or you might hate them. So I thought I would ask 2 questions based on these towers. And the first one was, out of all the towers last year, which one did you enjoy the most? So let's go over those answers real quick. So on Twitter, out of 97 votes, Classic Tower was ranked the one that was enjoyed the most by the community. Coming in second was the White Lotus Tower, the one that's actually happening right now. So if we go to the Reddit poll, out of 135 votes, the Classic Tower again came in first. Now remember that. Remember that the Classic Tower was voted on both polls as being the most enjoyable, okay? So now we're going to go to the next question on the towers. Which one did you find the least enjoyable, okay? So on the Twitter poll, out of 63 votes, the Classic Tower was ranked as the least enjoyable, okay? Now let's go to the Reddit poll, and out of 138 votes, the Classic Tower again was ranked the least enjoyable. So it's very weird, like the community is split right down the middle, I feel, on this Classic Tower. I can see why, because obviously there was a ton of crashes with that Classic Tower. The fights were extremely hard. The rewards weren't the best, but on the other side, the team at NetherRealm extended the tower another, 2 weeks, and extended the Fatal. So the chance to get rewards was greater. I don't know. I just thought that was very interesting. That's some really interesting data right there. Basically, everybody hated and enjoyed the Classic Tower the most and the least. I don't know. It's crazy. Now, before we move on, I want to tell you what I voted on. I actually voted on the least favorite being the Classic Tower, just because of all those crashes and those incredibly hard boss fights and the crashing during the boss fights. My most favorite, my most enjoyable, was the White Lotus Tower. And I've got to go over the rewards, because this is absurd, the amount of rewards I've been getting from both the normal and the Fatal White Lotus Tower. So I'm just going to cover these real quick. On normal 200, I got a copy of the Joker. Fatal 20, I got a copy of Lizard Noob Saibot. Fatal 92, I got a random epic. Fatal 100, I maxed out my Classic Liu Kang. Fatal 104, I got another random epic. Fatal 140, I got another copy of Lizard Noob Saibot. And Fatal 200, I got Fujin. Now, round 3 on normal 200, I got another Joker. And then just recently, just last night, I got another random epic on Fatal 121 on round 2. Absolutely crazy. I've never got that much random epics drops ever. Even going all the way back to the Lin Kuei Tower. It was just unheard of. It is unheard of. So White Lotus, by far, favorite tower of all time right now. And actually, it's not too tough either. The fights are just kind of annoying. They're not really too hard for me. That's just my perspective. So anyways, I had to get that in, because that is just absurd what I've been seeing there lately. Okay, moving on. We got some new brutalities in the year 2022, and we wanted to find out which one was your most favorite. The brutalities that we saw come along were Aaron Black, got one, Nightwolf, Terminator, Sindel, Tremor, and Fujin. All right, so what was your favorite brutality of 2022? Out of 127 votes on Reddit, Tremor came in first with 33 of them. Who came in second was actually Aaron Black. So I thought that was interesting. Tremor and Sindel are the only 2 of those that I actually don't have right now. But if I were to guess, I really like Fujin's. Actually, I really do like Fujin's. So again, amazing work from the developers on those brutalities. They look great. Now, next up are friendships. Those were new to the game in 2022, and we got 2 of them so far in the game. Obviously, we have Scorpions and we have Aaron Blacks. So let's find out which ones you thought were the best out of those two? Which ones the community thought they liked the most? On Twitter, out of 98 votes, Scorpion came in first with 67% of those votes. And on Reddit, out of 92 votes, 65 of those went to, you guessed it, Scorpion. Now, all of that was just a little bit of actually what happened in the game last year. There was a lot of other notable moments, and I'm just going to cover some of those major ones right now. So first of all, Mortal Kombat Mobile Twitter page actually got over 100,000 followers back in February, so that's pretty awesome. Ed Boon, the man himself, was inducted into the DICE Awards Hall of Fame. That is a huge award for him, so congratulations to you, Mr. Boon. We saw a tower for the first time actually get pulled from the game. Of course, I'm talking about the Cold War tower, and that's because of the events that were happening over in Ukraine, between Ukraine and Russia. So that was a pretty big moment in the year. Huge milestone for Mortal Kombat Mobile. They turned 7 years old this year. I've been playing for 2,818 days, actually 19 days as of today, and I've been there every step of the way, and it's been a lot of fun moments. So happy birthday, MK Mobile, for turning 7 years old. That's pretty good for a mobile game, I would say. 7 years old. Let's see what else. We saw the arrival of a Kombat Pass. That was a new thing to the game itself. I think we all saw that coming. So far, I think it's been met with mixed reviews. I personally am not a fan of it until they actually get some good content in there. I want to see some good characters that it's worth me spending money on to get. Right now, just not there yet. So with that came 30 years of combat. So Mortal Kombat turned 30 years old. That's huge. That's freaking huge right there. Let's see. We got a new community manager for NetherRealm, Buniri. I covered that in a couple episodes back. So congratulations to her. That's a pretty big announcement. Brand new community manager for Mortal Kombat. And let's see here. There's actually a new mobile game. Now that might be one of the biggest things that come out. A new Mortal Kombat mobile game. Mortal Kombat Onslaught, obviously. A lot of people have actually played it already. I've heard mixed reviews on it also. But that's something we're going to have to kind of watch and see how it evolves over this next year, because that's when it's officially going to launch, is 2023. Pretty soon, actually, if I remember right. So I will be playing that. I'll kind of get my hands on it, and we'll just see what happens. So future wishes, kind of wrap this thing up. Future wishes, I hope with the launch of that new mobile game, I still hope that Mortal Kombat Mobile gets the attention it deserves for fixing things that need fixed. I hope the bug issues get fixed. I hope that characters become more available to people. I hope equipment becomes more available to people. I just hope that they start respecting the player more and seeing them as a player rather than just a source of revenue, because they've definitely got their money out of the game. We can all agree upon that. So I'm hoping that they just make it a little bit more fun to play on that aspect. And before I sign off, I just want to say a huge thank you to all of you that have supported me over this last year. The MK Mobile Podcast has gotten a ton of new downloads, so I really appreciate all you new listeners. I'm always up for advice. If you guys ever want to reach out to me, and if you think something could be done different, I'm all ears. I would love to hear it. But honestly, I really do appreciate all of you watching my YouTube channel, listening to this podcast, and just interacting with me on Twitter and Reddit and any of the other social platforms that we talk on. So again, 2022 was a hell of a year. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope we all learned a lot from it. And here's to looking forward to 2023. With that, everybody, I'm going to sign off and say Happy New Year to all of you awesome people in this MK Mobile community. Take care, and I'll see you next year.